Hello. It's pretty important at the beginning of this particular video that I do the disclaimer. This is my personal opinions. If facts slip in there, but this is it's about my opinions and just my opinions. Alright, if you need to know anything, go look for it elsewhere. But this is my opinion on what I have seen. I'm not stating anything as fact. Like, literally, it's important. And also I swear, and I'll probably swear quite a bit in this one. So if you don't like opinions and swearing, then I'm not the person for you. So anyway, having been said, you might have noticed a bit of something going on in the last week, in that we lost Queen Elizabeth. That it was announced that she was dead, when personally, I think it happened a while ago. But again, opinions, just my opinions. But I think she's been gone for a while, and they just couldn't, because everything wasn't ready. Everything certainly was ready. Especially Chuck was ready and raring to go. And that's what this video is about, because I don't want to get into the Queen, because it's a very tender subject, and I do know why, because I've had exactly the same education, and I know why people love her, because I've been bred to love her too. And I've done videos on this years ago. Many videos I've done on the Queen, the royal family in general. I did one video called Education for the Educated, which basically explains how they've done it, one-ish, as best I do, because I do go off on tangents and flit about, and I'm not very professional in what I do. But I do know how they've done it, and education is a massive part of that. And I've had that education. I understand why people are getting really upset, and like, it's disrespectful. She's the Queen. So I'm not going to touch on any kind of disrespectful. I've done all that in the past. But I think it's a bit disrespectful myself that literally, according to reports, if you believe that she died on the day that they say that she died, she weren't even cold, mate, before they were telling you God save the King. And I personally think that's a bit fucking disrespectful, because I've lost my mum, 2019. My stepdad and my brother, mate, boom, straight in there to fucking feast on the corpse. Like, that's a bit too morbid. But straight into the financial shit, and, I got none of what she'd saved her entire life to leave me, and none of her possessions. Because that's what people do. It's like, oh, they're dead, let's see what we can have. And that's how it felt like it was happening to me, that he was like, right, it's mine now, I've waited 73 years, mate, sign me up, put that crown on this head, let's go. That's how it felt to me, like, fucking get it, I've got it. But maybe that's just me. But we're now being told, God save the King. We're told, like, there were words, right? And if you go back and watch my earlier videos, it's years ago, it was well over 10 years I did Education for the Educated, I swear. But and I've always said the same things when I was doing my videos proper back in the day. They use watchwords and whatever. And, all of these years that I've been doing what I do, you get people say, we're not brainwashed. We're not brainwashed. And literally, this has proved perfectly how we are brainwashed. And all you've got to do is think, how many times have you heard the word service and duty in the past week? Literally, they called the Queen a servant. Sorry, no Queen shit. But Chuck's taking over, and he is now serving us. Serving from his gold throne. He's sitting there. He's become chief servant of the UK, and service and duties, doing his duty. Oh, he's had to give up his charity work. Had to give up his charity work as Prince of Wales. Oh, bless. Anyway, right. Now, the point. Let's get to the point, shall we? I'm just interested to know, because I don't think you're allowed to say, not my king. Some bloke today got had up by the police for holding up a blank piece of paper outside Parliament, and he was told if it had said on it, not my king, he would have been arrested. This is where we're going, because we have all had the same education. From the age of 4, we're taught God Save the Queen. We were made to sing it all the bloody time. Memorise it. One of my first ever memories at school, when I was in little school, when I was in nursery, was singing God Save the Queen. We're told from a very young age, as soon as we can wipe our own arse. It's like, yes, brothers, better than us. These people are better than us. They're born genuinely superior to us and deserve everything that they have. And we are lucky that they serve us, doing their duty. Right. Point. So I'm like, everybody is now, not everybody, but some people, the very ingrained, are saying, God save the king. Just taking over, even though he's had more fucking scandal than most politics, than Bojo put against his name. So I'm wondering what would be, how people would react if it was Randy Andy who'd been made the king. And to be fair, with what I'm seeing, people would just accept it. But I ask you to think upon this. People dislike Randy Andy because he was friends with a guy who sold young women to rich people for sexual antics. These young women were paid to perform these sexual acts with these rich and powerful men like Randy Andy. In fact, Virginia Giuffre, however you pronounce it, Roberts, was paid 12 million by Randy Andy. It's not a bad hourly rate, that, really, when you think about it. But these girls, and I'm not dissing what they went through, right? I have had something similar happen to me. I do know how it feels. But they were paid, right? And yes, some of them were very young. They were young, beautiful women who were picked out and told they were beautiful, and let's jet you off to Little St. James and all this lot, you know, like you'll be drinking cocktails and you'll be, you know, hoity-toity, that's not the right word, is it? Hobnobbing with the hoi polloi, right? So that's one thing, and I know you shouldn't compare and contrast, but this was Prince Andrew's friend, Prince Charles' friend, was the worst sexual offender that this country has ever outed so far. Jimmy Savile, Sir Jimmy Savile, he was knighted, and he also did oodles of work for charity. He was knighted, and he procure young women to be paid to have sex with rich people? No, he raped children and fucked corpses. And he was Prince Charles' best friend, and he used to take little kiddies to Buckingham Palace. Literally, if you're comparing and contrasting, which is worse, Jeffrey Epstein or Jimmy Savile? And yet, Prince Charles being bezies with Jimmy Savile, not even on the fucking radar anymore. No, He didn't get outed in the news. He didn't get publicly fucking shamed, because if he had have done, he wouldn't be sitting in the chair that he's sitting in now. And that aside, motherfuckers act like they forgot about Di. Remember that handwritten note that she wrote? My husband is planning an accident in my car. Her words, her handwriting. Everybody, when she was died, he fucking did it. He did it so that he could marry Camilla. It was every fucking where. Now, Princess Diana, what? She don't matter anymore because it's not in the news. Like, we have to stop this believing and doing whatever we're told by the fucking person on the telly. Because right now, we are underneath the rule of a guy who we haven't been educated to worship this man. He is now the head of the English church. If you're a Christian, can you really call yourself a Christian and worship as one down from God a man who was best friends with a bloke who raped children? Can you sit with your God with that bit of information and say, yeah, it's better than I am. He's better than I am. Mate, we need to be asking some questions of ourselves. You know, we can't demand answers from these people. He is now in, like I said, we've not been educated to love him. He's going to take a different tactic, and it's going to involve big fucking sticks. It's going to involve punishment. Because with Elizabeth, we were educated to love her. We were pulled into that. We were told she was like us. We haven't had that with Charles. And he blatantly isn't like us. So we don't think, oh, he's just a sweet old man. Oh, he's just a figurehead. He's not. He gets involved in politics, and he always fucking has done. And it's provable. So where do we go from here? Anyways, like I said, these are just my personal opinions. If you agree with them, great. If you don't, that's your prerogative. But I should be allowed to have my opinions, because we live in a free world, do we not? We live in a democracy, and we're allowed to have an opinion. And this is mine. I shall leave you with that, and I shall wish you a good day, and toodaloo.